here and welcome back to another video. So today we're back here for another speed build, and today we're going to go ahead and create this 8-sim mansion. So if you'd like to go ahead and download this for yourself, it is up on the gallery now. My origin ID is Real Thomas TV1, and like normal I will have a link in the description to the online gallery if you want to go ahead and download the build that way. So like I said, this is an 8-sim mansion. Now I don't actually have like the final price and stuff like that of the build because I haven't actually had time to do that yet. I've finished most of the build. I've literally just got like one more flower bed to do in landscaping and that's it. But I've been a little bit behind this week because I had a few things going on. I've got family coming over today, well tomorrow, sorry I'm all over the place. Family coming over tomorrow. I just came back from an optician's appointment, so I'm kind of just rushing to get this video finished. Well, just kind of doing the voiceover bit. I didn't really rush with the build because actually this build took me about 2 hours and a half to do, which may not sound like a long time, but that is kind of a long time for me. And I don't know why though, because it's not like it's anything majorly different from other speed builds I've done before. It's kind of got like, you know, traditional family home kind of styling to it, but I just kind of felt I was doing it. I was like, this is dragging on so long, Thomas, get a move on. But I'm really happy how it turned out, and I did actually go for like, I tried to do it a little bit differently on the exterior than my normal builds, because I normally go for like cats and dogs, doors and windows, or seasons ones, but today I actually went for a medium wall height on the bottom, which I never ever do. Well, I do sometimes, but I don't like to. I always go for short wall heights, but today I went for a medium one on the bottom, and I used a lot of base game windows today. I think I used all base game windows, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, pretty sure I did, unless there's like maybe one or two, but I used those kind of ones with the shutters on them. And just a few other ones that I don't always use, but I do use them when I come to do base game builds. And as I was doing this, I was thinking this is like turned out to be a base game build, but I was like, no, I'm going to regret doing that because this is a big home and I've got lots of stuff to do in it, so I didn't make this base game. Now, like I was saying just before there, I haven't had a chance to kind of do all the gallery information, finalize, you know, all the screenshots and stuff like that yet, so I don't know what price this build came into. But I'm thinking around maybe the 300 to 400,000 mark, and I'm pretty sure it has 7 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms. Again, not finalised, but I'm pretty sure it's that amount. And I'm trying to think what else about it. Well, it's on a 50 by 50 lot, and I placed it in Willow Creek on the Oakenstead lot, but of course, feel free to place it wherever you want. And then in terms of packs I used, again, I'm not really too sure, since I haven't really kind of finalised everything yet. And what I've been doing recently is, and you may have heard me say this in the last couple of videos, is that what I'm trying to do is that there may be like, you know, packs here and there I might use in my build, such as, you know, maybe backyard stuff where I might use like the painting from it. You know, those like 3 little paintings put together, like the little pictures put together in one item. Those are kind of like a common thing. I'm using that pack as just an example. But even just like get to work, there's this one like really thin plant that I use, like house indoor plant I use from that pack as well. So from those 2 things that you've just heard me talk about, those are just like 1 or 2 items from each of those packs. And when, you know, somebody may not have that pack and they look at this house in the gallery and then they see that that pack's been used and they'll be like, oh, well, I can't download this house now. When really, it's just for the sake of a plant or something, and now you can't download the whole house. So I feel like, I know some people like don't actually check, because you can actually click on those pack icons and it tells you which specific items are used in that build, which I think is a really, really useful thing to use. And I actually use it myself as well when I'm actually uploading the houses. So for example, if it was something like that, like I was just saying, such as if I use one plant from a particular pack or something, I'll just go and remove it and it takes that pack out of the build for just the sake of one item, because it's not like I'm having to make major changes or have to do a completely different idea than what I had in mind. It just really helps everybody, so I think it's a really great idea to start doing that, so I have been doing that a lot more. So the last couple of uploads, if you looked on my gallery, you may have noticed that they do have a few less packs than normal, because sometimes I just go crazy with the packs, because I'm lucky enough to have them all in my game, so I kind of just use them, you know, which ones I feel like using. So my point of that is that I haven't done that like process yet, so I'm not too sure what packs I actually ended up using. But yeah, so you can actually see here that, well, you may not notice, but I'm actually doing something a little bit different with the train paint there. So you can actually see that I paired 2 different stone train paints and put them together. It's nothing, you know, like an original idea, right? Like people do this all the time. But what I always do is I take one type of stone train paint to use on the exterior, and then I border it off with a little bit of dirt train paint just to kind of make it stand out a little bit more. give it another dimension, I suppose. That sounds really technical when it's really not, but anyway, so I do that a lot, but I just kind of wanted to see what it looked like using two different stones together, and I think it looks really nice instead of using one stone plus the dirt and like the edges of it. I think that looks a little bit different, so I went ahead and tried that out today. I also did a little thing here with that fishing tool thing, that little fishing pond thing there. Basically it's just a pool with the fishing sign, which you can just get from the debug menu. So I went ahead and put that in just for a change, because I used to do that in my builds, but I never do it now. I've never actually tried it out myself, but I'm pretty sure people have told me that it does work, and you can actually fish from there, so you know, it's just another activity to do in this house. Now, the kind of item for that fishing sign, you know how when you have like place an item and it has like the grid of that item, so you can kind of see if it'll fit there, and the game will tell you if it can fit in that particular area. Well, that fishing sign has like a 2x4 tiling grid on it, which is really huge actually for that tiny sign. So I know it doesn't fit there, but there is more than enough space around it, so I don't know if that will actually work or not. Actually, like I said, I haven't finished the build yet, so I haven't play tested it yet. I don't always mention this, but I don't talk about play testing. Like, I know a lot of people just do it. I play test things that I know I have like doubts with, because I feel like I've built a lot now that I can kind of see, you know, like if there's like a particular room or something, I can easily see when there's like a big enough gap for a sim to walk through. I don't play test that sort of thing because I know that's just going to work. But things I might have doubts about, like saying, oh, that gap's maybe a bit too small for a sim to walk through, I'll play test that sort of thing. You know, there is, I think everybody misses things here and there, and I have had people on the gallery tell me here and there that I've missed maybe one thing or two that sims can't walk a particular way. But you know, for the most part, I do track those things I have doubts about, and I'm lucky when I do that, because if I have a doubt about something, I'm normally right, which is good. So I know that probably isn't the best thing to talk about. If you're new to my channel today, I'm trying to sell my channel here and telling you that I don't play test my builds properly, but I do. Anyway, so we're just working on the interior here a little bit more. Again, if you're new, I do jump around the build a lot. I'm not going to go into too depth about why I do that, because I know a lot of you are sick of me saying this, but just in case you're wondering why I'm jumping around the build, we're doing a little bit of interior, a bit of exterior. I am doing it on purpose. I'm not just going crazy. So I'm really happy how that kitchen turned out. It's very, very spacious actually. The downstairs area in general is actually just very open plan. So before you get in the kitchen, you can kind of see that room there where it has like the striped wallpaper. That's actually more like a formal dining room. So in there it has the big dining table, has a nice big grand sort of fireplace from cats and dogs, as well as a big piano and bar area and stuff like that. And then in the kitchen area here, there is a smaller dining table, which is kind of just like, you know, the family sort of table, I guess. And yeah, so also just another thing I want to mention before we kind of pass it and I forget to mention it. But later on in the video, I do actually switch reshade presets. So normally I actually use Harry's Light Brigade preset, and I've been using that since the beginning. I think I've been using that for about 2 years now. But I kind of just felt like a change, because I always wanted that preset to be more sharper, but for some reason in the settings I could just not get that to be sharper. I don't know why. So I actually tried out Avalon's, I forgot what the name of it is, but I've just Avalon's preset, the normal one. Because I believe she has two, one for Strangerville and one for normal, so I'm using the normal one. And I made like a slight adjustment to it, but I did actually have an issue, which I think I did cut out. So I installed it and I made a few adjustments to it just to kind of personalise it a little bit more, and I kind of went with that. And then I pressed a button, and I don't know what I did, but the whole screen went like really white, and I don't know what button I pressed. I tried to like undo it or something, I just could not get it right, so I had to end up uninstalling the program and then reinstalling it, but I was kind of running out of time with this build, so I didn't have time to make all my changes again. So you probably won't notice the changes between the two, but later on in the video we do change reshade preset, so I'd just like to have your opinions on that. Do you prefer the new one, or do you prefer the one I had before? Because it's actually kind of a nice change. It's not as bright as the other one, but I think it was just a nice change, and I wanted to include it in today's video where I kind of swap it halfway through so you can kind of see the difference easily, so that's why I did that. So this room right here is kind of just like a teens girl room, I thought. Again, I didn't like have a plan for these builds, like each room, they're not really that personalised. There's definitely one girls kids room, maybe that for a girls teen right here. There's probably a kids boy room and also a teen boy room as well, and then I think there's another couple of kind of general bedrooms. And I didn't want to personalize it too much, so you can take any type of 8 sims you have and fit it into the build. I'm actually really happy how that bedroom turned out that we just finished. It was kind of just, I don't know, just felt really nice. It was a good size that I filled it up, because I know sometimes rooms can be like too big and there's like some empty space, but that was just a really nice size. I did some fairy lights under the bed and stuff like that. So we're now just back on the exterior again, just switching it up, and like I was saying before, again, I'm not going to explain it again because I know how much all of you are sick of me explaining this particular thing. But yeah, so we're just working on the pool area there too. I tried not to make it, you know, just squared it. Try to make a little bit of an interesting shape. And you might have just seen that the top of the glass roof of the greenhouse there, right there, you can kind of see it while we're up in this bedroom here. But you can see that's a little bit odd. It's really an odd type of way to do it. I don't know still what I think of it, but what I kind of did is that the glass roof doesn't cover the entire roof. It kind of just does a little bit in the middle, because I had to kind of put a piece of foundation over that roof there to get the trim around it. But I don't know if you know this, but if you do that, you can't actually have a glass roof because you'll just see the foundation underneath the glass roof. So I had to go ahead and kind of work around that a little bit, so I could still have the trim around that top of the greenhouse but still have the glass roof, if that made sense. So I couldn't have the glass roof over the full place. So I know it looks a little bit odd, but you know, just something a little bit different, I suppose. So this is the kind of kids, girls room, I suppose, but again, I'm not going to set anything, you know, this is going to be this is for that type of thing, whatever. I'm just going to keep it open, just giving you some ideas so you can change it up if you need to, or just keep it however you want. This room is probably the most, like, really generic one. This is more like a guest room, I would say. So maybe if people, well, I suppose you may need it for 8 sims, I think, unless people double up in beds, but I think this could be a spare bedroom, I think. But anyway, so, you know, there is actually a balcony going out there as well, so I think that's a nice room for a guest room, so they can do whatever they want there too. So this is one of the bathrooms. I did actually do laundry in this build as well. I didn't plan on doing it originally, but I did actually think that might be a good idea to do that, since I feel like sometimes it is easier to take out laundry in a build than trying to fit it in somewhere that if the person who built it didn't include that. And I know a few people kind of suggested that. I think Chrissy York, who I did a collab with just a few weeks ago, was mentioned that to me one time. So I went ahead and did that and just included laundry. So if you want to play with it, feel free. If you don't, just take out the laundry machines. And you don't even have to go around and take out the laundry baskets, to be honest. You could maybe just use that as decoration. So this room right here is kind of like the teen boys room, I was thinking. Again, nothing really too kind of strict about that. Feel free kind of change it if you want to, or leave it how it is. I just kind of thought with the darker colour scheme, it just kind of made me think of that. So just an idea, nothing set in stone though. So I included a little bit of colour there with those paintings from City Living. I know I use this way too much, but I kind of just feel like we need more paintings in general, because I'm always using the same ones over and over again, so it'd be nice to have a few new ones. And then this one here, I'm kind of thinking maybe like a preteen boy or a kid boy or something, I don't know. Again, just up to you, just a few ideas to do, so it's not so neutral. But yes, that's pretty much it for today's build. I'm going to leave you here with the screenshots in just a second. We're just kind of finishing up some more outdoor activities like the balcony and also a little kind of outdoor seating area as well on the ground. And yes, so thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like, comment, share and subscribe if you haven't. You can go ahead and download this build from the gallery. My origin ID is RealThomasTV1, and like I said earlier, I will also leave a link down below to the online gallery if you want to go ahead and download the build that way. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!